Okay, what was that?
Baldur's Gate 3 has amazing music, so let's listen to some more from the soundtrack.
Here's a song called The Weeping Dawn, and the only thing I know about this particular song is that it is sung by a bard character in the game. So I'm pretty excited to hear this. Oh my god, the combination of lute and harp? I love that.
Dance upon the stars tonight, smile and pain will fade away. Words of mine will turn to ash when you call the last light down. Moon reminds me of your grace, all the love I can't repay. Rest and know that I will pray. Farewell, my dear old friend. Moon, sun, oh, remind me of your grace. Faith, care, all the love I can't repay. Moon, sun, oh, remind me of your grace. Faith, care, all the love I can't repay. Dance upon the stars tonight, smile and pain will fade away. Words of mine will turn to ash when you call the last light down. Moon reminds me of your grace, all the love I can't repay. Rest and know that I will pray. Farewell, my dear old friend. Dance upon the stars tonight, smile and pain will fade away.
Wow, that was beautiful. Let's break it down. Instruments used: medieval lute, similar to a guitar but with a more nasal timbre, and harp. And then I'm hearing what seems to be an almost flute sounding, metallic sounding sort of glockenspiel or some synth glockenspiel. It's like those magical bell-like sounds in the background. In terms of song form, it is using a very basic verse, bridge, which is an instrumental lute solo bridge, and then verse. But what I did not expect going on was knowing ahead of time that this is performed by a bard character. I was only expecting a very intimate arrangement of just voice and lute, and maybe a little bit of ornaments with the harp and the bells. But when the strings came in and did all those rhythmic strings swelling to a huge sound, oh my god! It suddenly is a cinematic song, like a medieval rock opera of sorts. And of course, absolute pristine singing. Amazing singing. Despite having all those intricate orchestrations and the added instruments like the harp and the bells and the strings, the basic arrangement is still simple enough that I can still imagine this being performed legitimately live by someone with just a guitar or lute and their singing voice, and that's it. The basic song structure is still there, and everything else is icing to the cake. This is called Nightsong. Short and sweet, but wow! Okay, I admit when the vocals came in initially, being this mellow, lullaby-like sounding singing style, I admit I thought it was just going to be a mellow song, another sort of lullaby, similar to the Harpy song. But then I started to become suspicious that it will become something different as soon as those string beds came in. And the epic drums, bam! Battle drums, war taikos. From what seemingly started as some sort of lullaby, it now became a call to war. The imagery in my head I'm imagining is this band of warriors being led by an elven priestess or an elven shaman represented by the singing, instead of the brutal, barbaric chants that we hear in like the main theme. Instead, this becomes a bit more emotional. An emotional call to battle. There's this emotional stake represented by the very emotional mellow singing, but underlying there is the brutality and the determination to fight, to win, to march to battle, represented by the drums. I love that juxtaposition. Mellow and brutal. By the way, if you enjoy this style of medieval fantasy music, I have recently joined a musical duo called Axe and Ale, and we have just dropped a new album of original music in this style. If you're looking for ambience music for your D&D sessions and your RPG gaming, go check it out. Links in the description. Twisted Force. Ooh, I'm guessing this is one of the battle themes, perhaps? Okay, what was that? That is an ingenious way of using sound design and music. What seems to be a lute being detuned down as they're playing the music, because he could have been just playing a scale down, but as the note came down lower, the string sounded twangier, more loose. And that's exactly how a guitar being detuned and you're still playing it and picking it, that's how it exactly sounds. Being a full-time string player myself with guitars and violins and all, I am very, very familiar with this very specific sound of a guitar or any string instrument being detuned while playing it. There seems to be also a drone of a hurdy-gurdy somewhere in there. But yeah, this is definitely a battle song. Heavy presence of battle drums, and we're hearing again hints of the barbaric singing that we heard in the main theme. Yes! Flute used as a sound design. I actually played a bit of bamboo flute when I wrote some film music scores. And if you play the flute loud enough, it will sound very shrill, like some sort of scream. And if you flutter the flute notes, it will sound like this exactly. It conveys a great sort of shrill atmosphere.
Domina jami dovina to, jami dovin, jaboga vin. Domina jami dovina to, jami dovja, dovja vino, jami dovina, dovja vino. Vin, na, moja.
I'm just gonna call it. This is medieval heavy metal. Imagine listening to this and adding the presence of distorted heavy rhythm guitars. It would fit. It would fit. But yes, again, I am constantly amazed and constantly delightfully surprised by the presence of so many vocal writing, even in the battle music. Most of the time, I would hear battle music in RPGs to be mostly instrumental. One of the instances I remember where there's lots of vocal music in even the battle songs is in Persona 5. Every battle song is a song, like a traditional song in itself. Different style from Baldur's Gate 3, but I don't hear it as often as I would like to. And if you're looking for your favorite songs, check out part 1 of this reaction series.